Vi kallades för The Chicken Swedes, för vi var veka och svaga. Trodde de. Och sen kom Börje Salming och visade att så är det inte alls. Kolla vilken oerhört sexig entré. Det är fruktansvärt sexigare entrén.
He's gonna get out of his car. Look at him. Here we go. It's gonna be a fight. Welcome to Toronto.
Tjena Sudden, läget. Den här killen känner ni igen, va? Nummer 13 på armen och på ryggen. C1 på bröstet hoppas jag. Jajamän. Mats Sundin. Stor hjälte i Toronto. Spelade här i herrans massa år och står nu staty utanför The Leafs hemmaarena. Mitt i Toronto i smeten. Men Sudden, ursäkta mig. Det är inte därför vi har tagit oss hela vägen till Toronto för att prata om Mats Sundin. Det får vi göra en annan gång. Det finns faktiskt en ännu större spelare. Börje Salming. Herregud alltså. Jag vet inte riktigt var jag ska börja om jag ska vara ärlig. Men ända sedan jag var en liten kille och min pappa första gången berättade för mig om Börje Salming. Ända sedan den dagen så har jag velat åka hit till Toronto. Och det är väl så att ingen annan stad i världen har varit lika betydelsefull för svensk ishockey som Toronto. Historien om Börje Salming, den är oändlig nästan. Alltså. Det är som, vad ska man säga, det är en idrottssaga. Kanske den finaste vi har i Sverige. Den började i Kiruna, långt upp i Sverige. Kiruna AF. Börjes pappa, Erland, omkom i gruvan. Börje 5 år gammal. Så att det blev upp till Karin, mamma, och storbror Stig att uppfostra honom. Och att ta sig hela den vägen via Brynäs 3 säsonger till Toronto. Dit han kommer sommaren 73. Det är inte gjort i en handvändning. Och varför är det så viktigt då? Jo, 1973 så hade det varit 2 svenskar i Nordamerika och spelat ishockey. Uffe Sterner var den första. Han var här tidigt, gjorde inte så många matcher och åkte hem. 1972 kom Tommy Bergman till Detroit Red Wings. Och han är egentligen 1 år före Börje då. Men han kanske inte är som mest känd för sitt spel utan för sina nävar, Tommy. Men så kommer då Börje Salming tillsammans med Inge Hammarström inför säsongen 73. Och det var en tid då ingen europeisk ishockeyspelare hade etablerat sig i NHL överhuvudtaget. Svenskar överlag ansågs alldeles för veka. Vi hade ju smeknamnet Chicken Swedes. Men så kom Börje och Inge. Vi får inte glömma Inge Hammarström. Men framförallt är det Börje som med sin oerhörda karisma, sitt mejslade ansikte och sitt uppoffrande spel vinner Toronto-invånarnas kärlek på egentligen bara några matcher. Jag tror att han är matchens lirare direkt i premiären. Toronto vinner mot Buffalo hösten 73. Och resten är bland de vackraste sagorna vi har i svensk idrottshistoria. 16 säsonger blev det. Och vad är det då som är så särskilt med de här 16 säsongerna att han kom 1973 och så här? Jo, det hade inte varit några europeiska spelare som hade etablerat sig i ligan. Och vi kallades för The Chicken Swedes, för vi var veka och svaga. Trodde de. Och sen kom Börje Salming och visade att så är det inte alls. Och hade det inte varit för Börje Salming och sättet han spelade på och därmed också öppnade upp dörrarna för alla andra spelare så kanske vi inte hade haft en Peter Forsberg eller Niklas Lidström eller Mats Sundin. I alla fall inte när vi fick dem. Möjligtvis senare. Det var Börjes förtjänst skulle jag vilja säga. Än idag så innehar Börje Salming 5-6 rekord i klubben. Han är väl den spelare som har plockat flest assistpoäng av alla, genom alla tider, oavsett position. Och då var ju Börje back som du vet. Det är rätt mäktigt. Och sen har han en massa olika backrekord som ingen någonsin kommer i närheten utav. Och alla de här assisten, målen, framförallt sättet han täckte skott på med framtänderna och käkbenet. Allt det där, det hände ju inte i den här arenan utan det hände på en annan plats. Och om det är så att jag alltid har velat komma till Toronto för att den staden har betytt så mycket för svensk ishockey. Så väl på plats i Toronto så vill jag ju ta mig till den platsen där allting hände, själva katedralen. Och dit har jag alltid också velat komma. Och till skillnad från Montreal så finns det en lite bättre bevarad, framförallt entrén. Det är fruktansvärt sexiga är entrén. Så nu sticker vi dit. Äntligen hörni. Kolla vilken oerhört sexig entré till Maple Leaf Gardens, katedralen här i Toronto. Det var här inne hockeylaget spelade mellan 31 och 99. Det var här inne de vann sina 11 Stanley Cup-segrar. De har inte vunnit som de flyttade härifrån. Det var här inne Börje Salming 1976 hyllades med en stående ovation i flera minuter när Sverige skulle möta Kanada i Canada Cup. Och det var första gången svenska folket på riktigt insåg hur bra och stor Börje Salming var i Toronto. Och det var ju här inne han täckte sina skott. Och han gjorde det med pannbenet, med örsnibbarna, med näsroten, med hakspetsen, med brösten, med axlarna, med höger pungkula. Om det var det som krävdes. Och det var det som gjorde honom så oerhört populär och älskad här i Toronto. Vi ska gå in och kolla en sväng i det som var Börje Salmings andra hem. Han brukade säga det. Han var på semester på sommaren i Sverige. Men så åkte han tillbaka för en ny säsong. Och då gick han alltid in här. Kramade om varenda rackare, målare, snickare, ismaskinister, säkerhetspersonal. Han sprang runt här och kramade alla. Det var som att komma hem. Hans andra hem. Och det ska bli mitt andra hem också. Nu, får du med nu, så är detta mitt andra hem. Häng med in. Ja, som ni förstår så är det ju inte fortfarande då en hockeyhall som bara står och sådär. Det är massa butiker och sådär. Men de har sparat ganska mycket här inne till skillnad från i Montreal. Kolla här, allt det här. Det är ju från förr, gammalt. Här har någon Darry Sittler gått och sparkat lite kanske och fnyst och varit förbannad på någon. De här, alltså det här är ju gammalt, de här gamla pelarna. Det är äkta grejer. Kolla upp här, kolla den stolsraden där uppe. Och vad en sittplatsbiljett kostar där. Ja, som ni ser så har det hänt lite grejer här sen Börje hyllades 76. Nu för tiden kan man köpa bakade bönor på burk. Det är ett snabbköp alltså. Men som ni ser så har de bevarat en del. Pelarna till exempel. Och mittcirkeln. För 10 år sedan så var jag i Kiruna i Mattujärvi ishall och träffade Börje, träffade Stig, träffade mamma Karin. Men jag träffade också Mike som för länge sedan var en Toronto-supporter och på senare tid så var han kompis med Börje Salming och han ska ni också få träffa nu om ni kommer runt hörnet här för han står här. Hello Mike.
Hi.
Nice to see you again.
Good to see you as well.
Long time no see.
Yeah, that was 2016.
16, yeah. Beautiful night.
It was the best. It was one of my favorite things I've ever done working for the Maple Leafs.
Yeah.
Yeah, epic.
But let's go back a couple of years. In 1973, something happened.
Yes.
Do you remember it?
Yeah, well, I was 4, but Börje Salming and Inge Hammerström became Toronto Maple Leafs. Pretty special.
Yeah.
Changed the face of the game forever.
Okay, how?
Well, they're the first. Well, that began the whole European invasion. I know they weren't the first, but they were the ones that sort of began that true invasion of the NHL by, you know, Swedish and then players from other countries after that.
Was it something also about Börje and the way he played?
Absolutely. Toronto fans like people who play with heart, tough players, spirit, personality, all that stuff. Börje had it all.
How popular was he in Toronto?
Very popular, and he became popular very quickly as well. You know, a Swedish-born hockey player coming to Toronto. I don't think anyone knew what to expect. Obviously, they knew how he would play, but how the fans would receive him. But I think the way he put that seemed unnecessary. The way he played, you know, really endeared himself. We'll just wait 1 second for this.
Respect!
He's going to get out of his car. Look at him. Here we go. It's going to be a fight. No. Welcome to Toronto. Uh-oh.
Once again.
He's losing it. All right, should we ask that question again? The thing with Börje is, you know, it's the way he played, the person he was, and evidence to how quickly he endeared himself to the Maple Leafs fans. You know, came in the 1976 Canada Cup right here at Maple Leaf Gardens, Canada versus Sweden. They introduced both sides, and he got this massive ovation playing against Canada. You know, Bob Orr was there, you know, but Börje is one that got the loudest and the longest cheer of anybody introduced, and that says it all to me right there. Just that moment alone.
And do you have a favorite Börje in Toronto memory from back?
As a player?
Yeah, or like a guy on the street or something like that.
Well, again, I just knew Börje as a player the same way as anybody else did back then. I was a fan. You know, some of the things that stick out in my mind was I remember when he got stepped on. That was big. You know, but you know, just added to the Börje legend. You know, that he survived in 250 stitches. You know, he was just always there. You know, like my favorite playoff series, and it's going to sound a little strange, was the 1987 playoffs against St. Louis when we beat them, and Börje was, of course, on that team. Just a couple years left for the Leafs after that. But that's, you know, high school is really when I really became passionate about the Toronto Maple Leafs. I followed them my whole life. My mom dated the alternate captain back in the 60s. She drank out of the cup in 62, 63, so she instilled her love of the Maple Leafs in me. I always wore the number of her boyfriend, number 9, Dick Duff. But yeah, Börje was just a big part of the team and loved every minute. I watched hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of games back then.
But I heard, or maybe I read somewhere, that one time the cop stopped Börje Salming for driving too fast in the city.
Maybe.
And when they saw it was Börje, it was fine. You can
go. That doesn't surprise me.
A couple of autographs later.
Yeah. Oh, of course.
Yeah.
I don't know about that story, but it sounds like it could be true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great, Mike. And then you became friends. How come?
Yeah, well, I met Börje Salming right here in 1996, November 1996. He had just been, he was going into the Hockey Hall of Fame. And usually on the Saturday back then, before the Hall of Fame induction on the Monday, we would honor all the inductees here at Center Ice at Maple Leaf Gardens. So he went in that year, Al Arbor, who used to play for the Leafs as well, and then coached the Islanders. They both went in and they had a ceremony for them. My job that night was to get him to sign about 200 commemorative hockey sticks that we would use to give out to different charitable initiatives. So that's the day we met. And then we just crossed paths. You know, we hung out a bit at the closing of the gardens a couple years later. And then, you know, as time went by, we just became better and better friends. And you know, when he would come here, I would try to make his experiences more memorable, and he certainly did the same for me when I went over to Sweden.
Of course, everyone here remember the last time Börje visited.
Yes.
And you were in the stadium or
Yes.
the arena that
Yep,
night.
I was with him.
How was it?
Well, it's tough to sort of define. You know, it was heartbreaking, but also it was special that he got to come say goodbye, and he wanted to come say goodbye. That's the weekend he wanted to come. And then a lot of things did work out really well that made the goodbye special. You know, 2 games. The first night, him and all of his Hall of Fame family. The second night, him and his Toronto Maple Leafs family. 6 Swedish players starting that second game against the Canucks. Yeah, I met Börje at his hotel room, and we walked over the first night together. And I spent most of both of the evenings with him, as well as the Hall of Fame induction on Monday.
And then after the weekend, you said goodbye, and that was
yeah. The last time I saw him was in the hotel. I think it was the Tuesday after the Monday induction, and we had a little time together in the lobby. But a lot of people were there to say goodbye. Daryl and Tiger were there to say goodbye as well, and yeah, he was just always wonderful to me. I'm not really sure why we had such a special connection, why he picked me, you know, to be his friend, but he was my friend, and we had a lot of great adventures together. I feel very blessed because of that.
Yeah. How long do you think he will be remembered in Toronto?
I think he'll be remembered forever. You know, he's had a statue out in front of the building. His banner hangs from the rafters. His image is on the banner, so everyone knows what he looks like. They're never going to forget his face. And even if you were part of a younger generation that didn't get to see him play, that weekend he came back to Toronto. His story was told many times by many people, and it resonated with everybody. And so I can't see people ever forgetting Börje Salming.
Oh.
This is what Maple Leaf Gardens looks like today.
Woohoo!
So they renovated it, and they moved the ice up, I don't know, 3-4 stories off of street level.
Okay.
But if you were to look up from the bench, you're seeing the same view that you saw in 1931, 1999. This is Maple Leaf Gardens. In my opinion, it is the most important building in the history of our nation. All the things that happen here, not just sports, but so much more.
Yeah.
Culture, music, politics, religion, all sorts of things were celebrated here over the years. It's a very special building, and it's going to be here forever. So, which makes me feel good. Oh yeah. It's not going anywhere.
Okay.
No. Yeah. And now today it's used for student athletes. Toronto Metropolitan University men's and women's hockey teams play here.
How do you feel when you're here?
It's amazing. It's I feel I've been working with the Leafs for 30 years. My first 4 were here, and I'm so glad I got to be a part of the Maple Leaf Gardens, Maple Leafs family first. I'm also the official Leafs historian, and I think as the official historian, it's important that I understood the magic of this building and all the wonderful things that happened here and all the great players that played here.
Okay, let us use our imagination, fantasy now.
Yeah.
Börje Salming, it's a penalty killing situation.
Okay.
Shots are coming.
Yeah.
And if you close your eyes,
yeah.
Describe how you see Börje acting in front of you.
Well, you know, it's interesting because I do have a lot of video of those days, but most of the stuff from the early 70s has been lost. I have more from the 80s, but there's lots of great photos, and it does seem like Börje Salming was, you know, involved heavily in every single play. Like so many of the photos I have, he's down, you know, in front of his netminder. He's always has this look on his face like he's taking it very, very seriously. He was quite passionate about it. yeah, I wish that I could go back in time right now and watch with my eyes a game in 1975. Yeah. I really do, because I think I would just be on cloud nine. I wouldn't be able to tear my eyes away from the ice.
And if you could, I would like to join you.
Yeah, that would be amazing. We'd sit over in my grandfather's old seats there, and the Reds right in the middle, right behind the benches. Perfect space to watch a hockey game.
So I have to ask you, back in '76, the big Börje celebration.
Yeah.
Do you know which blue line it was?
Many are standing. Just listen to them. Here they are. I said many are standing now. Everyone in the building is standing. Börje Salming.
I'm trying to imagine it in my
the
mind. The TV camera would have been right here, the main camera.
I think it was over,
yeah,
right.
Which would make sense, because this is the home bench.
Yeah.
Right now it says visitors, which is, I've never even noticed that before, is they've swapped sides, and the home bench is on that side. But when the Leafs played here, the home bench was on this side. I'm sure it's because of where they have the dressing room situated over there. Yeah, so Team Canada most likely would have had that bench, which means that Sweden would have had that bench there. The fans, you know, let them know what they thought of him, and that's rare. You know, it wasn't like, this wasn't an all-star game. This wasn't an exhibition game. This was a real hockey game, really important. First, like, Canada Cup ever. And the Canada Cup was huge, especially in this city and in this country. So, yeah.
Do you know this guy? Börje?
Who?
Börje Salming.
Oh, okay. He's new?
No, not really. Played here on the 70s.
Oh, okay.
Cheers.
I don't know. David?
Börje Salming.
Is that Salming?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. I'm 78 years old, so I don't remember a lot anymore.
Do you know him? No. No? Börje Salming?
I don't know anything about hockey.
Okay. Börje Salming?
What?
Börje Salming?
No.
No?
No.
Jag trodde jag kunde se på folk. Kännedom, intuition, vad är det som har hänt?
He's a Toronto Maple Leaf,
Yeah.
but that's all I can tell you.
Börje Salming.
Oh yes, okay.
Mitt andra hem sa jag ju nyss, men jag vet inte fan. Ja. Jag är besviken faktiskt. Tills det blir mörkt ska jag stå här. Men jag är hungrig. Jag har fått tips om vad Börje Salming gillade att sätta i sig en liten stek. Så jag tror vi ska dra dit och käka lite. Som Börje Salming, helt enkelt. Så gör vi. Nu är det dags för biff. Börjes ställe. Då är vi på The Highs som var Börjes favoritställe här. Inte bara Börjes, även Inge Hammarström gillade att gå hit. Stig Salming gillade att gå hit. Darius Sippler gillade att gå hit. Och jag ska äta precis det som Börje Salming älskade att äta här. En New York steak. That's nice. Han var inte bara bra på hockey, Börje. Han visste hur man äter en bra lunch också. Fan vad gott det ska bli. Den här lilla kniven ska jag använda. Den är ju större än Crocodile Dundees kniv. Ja, jag vet inte om det är, men medium ska det vara enligt Stig Salming. Frågade även Inge Hammarström, men han var väldigt noga med att påtala att det är väldigt individuellt hur man vill ha sitt kött. Men vi åt medium. Men du, Marcus, du ska äta så som du vill ha det. Men jag äter så som ni åt den. Du och Börje. Och den är alldeles perfekt. Mm. 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 gott. Nu är man mätt som Börje Salming också. Det fattas bara att man går ut och täcker ett skott med överläppen från 3 meter. Jag tror aldrig Börje Salming lämnade någonting kvar på tallriken. Och det har inte jag heller gjort. Tror jag.
So how was everything this afternoon, gentlemen? Yes.
Lovely.
How was lunch?
How are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you? I'm Richard, by the way.
Marcus,
Pleasure to meet you. Pleasure to meet you.
is it true that this was Börjes favorite place?
It was, yes.
Did you meet him?
Not this location exactly. At the old location, we moved in 2019.
Okay.
But Börje was one of our many regulars that we loved. And actually in 2016, when the Toronto hosted the World Cup of Hockey, he invited the entire team.
He did?
And we had Team Sweden in for dinner.
Okay,
And
that's
we had
why
the
they
entire
lost.
Team. Yes. We had we had a lot of the other teams there too at the time. But, Team Sweden came in and they had a wonderful dinner, and Börje was the ambassador to the team. We love him here in Toronto. I'm a diehard Toronto Maple Leafs fan as well, and obviously he was a beloved Maple Leaf and did a lot for the city and our community.
Do you remember when he played?
I do, yeah.
Tell us about
Don't
him.
let the looks fool you. I'm a little bit older than I look. Yeah.
Okay.
But I do remember Börje playing in the 80s and late 70s, and he was the first European to make the NHL. So he broke the barrier for all the current players that we see today. So quite the ambassador.
But how come he was so big in Toronto?
Well, I mean, he's just, like I said, I had an opportunity to meet him. He was just such a great human being. He was just a down-to-earth person. You could always have a conversation with him. He was just great in the community. He was great with the team, obviously Leafs alumni, Hockey Hall of Fame. He's just one of those people you could just always have a conversation with. And we just loved him not only as a player, but just as a person as well. Wow. Yeah, he's just wonderful.
Ja, då har vi gått på samma gator som Börje gick på. Vi har ätit, inte samma, men en likadan stek som Börje brukade äta. Vi har tittat på taket som lyfte när Börje spelade Maple Leaf Gardens. Och vi har sett den blå linjen som han stod och stampade på lite nervöst när han blev hyllad i flera minuter 1976. Det har varit en fin dag. Jag kommer för alltid vara tacksam över den. Jag hoppas du tyckte det var okej, Börje, där uppe där du sitter ovanför skyskraporna. Och du kan vara trygg. Den här stan kommer aldrig glömma dig. Och inte jag heller.